Tuwaka, Arkay Xarxes by Lady Cinnabar of Tenneth. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I love this one. Lady Cinnabar always has her and what's that person that she's always like they fight back and forth in their books. That's great. I love it. It's not uncommon for scholars to note the clear similarities between the gods Xerxes, Arkay, and Tuwaka. For a particularly uninspired summary of the obvious, see Cyclopomps of Tamriel by the old Blovitar Frestus of Elenhir. Nearly every culture on the continent worships these deities in one form or another. Indeed, the Wood Elves of Valenwood revere them both. I wish, in this brief disquisition, to pose several questions about the origins of those gods, and then speculate upon the answers to those questions. We begin with Xerxes, as his worship, at least as recorded in written history, predates that of both Arkay and Tuwaka. An elven deity who records the life stories of all the races of Aldmeri, Xerxes appears in multiple creation or origin stories, many of which are inconsistent with each other. While some of these origins may be false, their multiplicity may also merely be a reflection of Xerxes' manifold nature. In the two most common origin myths, Xerxes appears either as Auriel's scribe, recording events at his side since the beginning of time, or as a Merithic Aldmeri priest of Auriel, who was elevated to divinity by the higher deity. The latter story is consistent with a high elf's conceit that they are directly descended from the Aedra and can, in certain miraculous circumstances, apothesize and reascend to godly status. For the Altmer, Xerxes records not just the life stories of individual elves, but all the connections of lineage and inheritance that bind them together and link them to their ancestors. As nothing is more important to an Altmer than his or her ancestry, it is easy to understand Xerxes' paramount role in defining and maintaining status and stability in Somerset society. Excuse me. Arkay, of course, is one of the 8 divines that were presented to the newly freed citizens of Cyrodiil by Saint Alessia at the founding of the First Empire. Though official dogma of the Church of the 8 holds that Alessia was merely revealing to her subjects gods who had been watching over them all along, scholarly research of documentary fragments that survive from early in the First Era hint at a different story. Kosei's Tamrielian tracts are well known, but I have also had the privilege of studying Sandraloth's Nedic Oblations and the anonymous Death Song for King Darodil in their original manuscripts. Comparisons of the latter two against each other illuminated several previously obscure passages in both, and the resulting clarification was the impetus for this paper. To come to the point, I believe I may well finally have enough evidence to confirm Sedalus' speculative theory of Archaean convergence. Most of my readers will doubtlessly be familiar with Sedalus' proposal that the Arkay of the 8 divines is, in origin, a fusion of aspects of the elven deity Xerxes with those of the primal Atmoran death god Orkay. My new translation of the Death Song and its formerly ill-understood plea for soul guidance passages makes it clear that the cyclopomp being addressed possesses attributes of both the elven and Atmoran deities. And once the proper vowel shift is applied, what is the name of that god? Tuarka. Which brings us inevitably to the Yakutan deity Tuwaka. How long he was worshipped in that name by the human tribes of Yakuta is now unknowable, as all our race's records were lost in the cataclysm that sank the archipelago. But as even old Frestus had the wits to note, it cannot be a coincidence that Tuwaka performs the same functions for the Redguards that Arkay and Xerxes do for Tamrielic men and Mur. Are these gods really separate and distinct deities, or are they all aspects of the same deity, worshipped under different names in different cultures? You may seek the answer elsewhere, for that is where scholarship ends and theology begins.